Welcome back to this week's edition of UC Sports, and we're here to help take you through another exciting week in the world of UConn sports. I'm Keegan Brown.
And I'm Taylor Woods. This week we will be covering UConn football's first win of the season, as well as everything Big East Media Day.
The UConn football team ended their 11-game losing streak against in-state rival Yale. The win ended the second longest losing streak in the nation and gave interim head coach Lou Spanos his first victory after taking over coaching duties 2 games into the season. Quarterback Steven Krajewski, starting in place of Tyler Pumachan due to injury, threw 2 touchdown passes and ran in another. On defense, defensive back Trey Wortham snagged not 1 but 2 interceptions on the day against Yale quarterback Griffin O'Connor. The Huskies look to follow up on their big win at home this Friday against Middle Tennessee.
The field hockey team had a roller coaster of emotions this week, with a Big East win against Villanova 6-2 and a loss to Maryland 3-2. With these next 2 games against Georgetown and UMass, the UConn Lady Huskies will have to bring it all.
The men's soccer team picked up a win and a draw this week. Against Marquette at home, the Huskies put up a defensive game that held the Golden Eagles scoreless over 80 minutes. Midfielder Ben Awashi scored his first goal as a UConn Husky, and along with a penalty kick to seal the game by forward Musa Wade, the Huskies defeated the Golden Eagles 2-1. Later in the week, UConn faced Creighton in a grudge match that would end up going to overtime. Midfielder Ben Awashi and Big East Freshman of the Week Mateo Levesque scored for the Huskies, but with a late goal by Creighton, the game was sent into extra minutes. Neither team would be able to put the ball in the net, and the game resulted in a 2-2 deadlock. This week, the Huskies will travel to face 2 Big East rivals in Seton Hall and Providence.
The women's soccer team went 2-0 this week. They played Creighton at home, where they won 3-2 in overtime. The Huskies were dominant on the offensive, taking a total of 26 shots and 15 on the goal. Sophomore Jada Bedoya scored twice versus the Blue Jays. Freshman Evelyn Arsenault scored her first goal in overtime to win the game. This gave the Huskies their first overtime win of the season. In an exhilarating game versus Villanova, it was all Huskies all the way. They won in double overtime 1-0. Their next Big East game is against Providence.
UConn baseball wrapped up their fall ball schedule this week with a 5-2 win over Rhode Island. Now the defending Big East champions will look ahead to the start of the season in spring.
The volleyball team had an exhilarating week this week, taking on 2 Big East teams, Providence and Creighton. In the game against Providence, the girls were on fire. The strikes were coming from all different sides of the courts. They won 3-1. Kennedy Jake Turner had an amazing game. Her coach had to say this.
But KJ, in the middle, just trying to get behind as much as she can is not an easy task. I think she ended up hitting over 500 for the set. So, I have to give credit to KJ because she is a little bit of that spark plug for us, and I think she did a really good job.
Big East Media Day was held on Tuesday at Madison Square Garden, and the women's basketball team brought home a slew of awards and accolades. Coming off a historic performance in her freshman season, our very own Paige Beckers was the unanimous choice for preseason MVP, voted on by Big East coaches. AZ Fudd also got some props, taking home the Preseason Freshman of the Year award, proving that coaches in the Big East certainly aren't sleeping on the number 1 ranked prospect. 3 Huskies were named the 10-player preseason All-League team, seniors Kristen Williams and Olivia Nelson-Odota, as well as sophomore Aaliyah Edwards. The team looks forward to the start of the season on November 7th.
And on the men's side, Cole and Martin earned all Big East second team, and UConn is ranked 2nd in the Big East preseason polls and 24th on the AP overall polls. This is the first time that they have been ranked in the preseason since 2016. They will be opening up their season November 9th.
The men's hockey team took 2 losses at Ohio State this weekend. The first was a heartbreaker. UConn went up 3-0 in the second period, but were unable to prevent a comeback by the Buckeyes. A last-second OT goal by Ohio State sealed the deal, and the Huskies fell 4-3. The second was a lopsided affair. With no goals scored by the Huskies, Ohio State was able to sweep the 2-game set in a 3-0 victory. UConn looks to bounce back next Tuesday as they take on Hockey East rival Northeastern.
The women's hockey team extended their win streak 6-0. After knocking off Maine in the Hockey East opener, the Lady Huskies were dominant as usual. In the opening stanzas, UConn could not break the tie, but thanks to the great defense, they were able to shut out Maine, outshooting them 17-12. They also played Merrimack, winning 5-3 after scoring 2 goals in both the second and the third period. As they get ready to defend their spotless season, they will travel to Merrimack Friday, October 22nd at 2 p.m.
That wraps up this week's edition of UC Sports. Make sure to tune in next week to see how the Huskies fare in their upcoming matchups.
And make sure to subscribe to UCTV Channel 14 YouTube, as well as follow us on Twitter and Instagram at UCTV Sports for your news and game updates. For Keegan Brown, I'm Taylor Woods. Thanks for watching UC Sports. Roll Skis.